Okay, so now I want to actually talk about mobile optimization. Since we did everything on desktop, what's beautiful about this is that there's not too much we have to change, but there are a couple things that I've noticed after doing a lot of like heat maps and everything and just analyzing the website. There are a few things that I want to add in just for mobile, so that way it's extra mobile optimized. But regardless, I mean, this is like, we're 99% way there. So I want to switch it on over to mobile, which I click right here. We go to mobile. And now as far as like changing anything on tablet and laptop, you can, I mean, there's really not much to change on tablet. Of course, you could look at that, but right now mobile is really like most important. I want to go over what we're going to change, and then I'm going to go over how we're going to change it. So the first thing that we're going to change is actually we need to make this image bigger. So I want this to really fill up the screen. Images, I mean, this is like what you can imagine as a scroll stopper or something just pop. And so we need this to be like edge to edge, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. I also like to put a button right here. What we have to understand is that this is not about putting a button above the fold. People are used to scrolling now. That old advice of, oh, put a button above the fold, that was way back then. What's happening now is people are preconditioned and are literally so used to scrolling. That's all we do is scroll all day. So what's more important is actually keeping it engaging and having them want to scroll. It's not about them, oh, I didn't know I could scroll lower. It's not about that. But the reason why I do want to put a button here is actually to remind them of the benefit or remind them of the end goal. It's not necessarily for them to click, okay? So important in that sense, but we're gonna keep scrolling down and I wanna show you a couple more things. So the next thing is like these bundles, like this is already optimized, and you'll notice the text, like this is already good text. You can of course check on your phone, but we can adjust like the add to cart button to be a little bit wider. Like that would probably help a little bit. I'll just show you that real quick, but then I'm gonna go through the other things. So now I'm at 400 pixels. And so this is nice. Now, actually one more thing I wanted to mention is make sure your text is at least 16 pixels, especially if you're selling to older demographic or whatnot. Mobile needs to at least be 16 pixels. That's what's recommended. So this is 14. So I'm actually gonna increase it right to 16. Cool. And that's just super simple. Everything else is fine. I would actually want to increase this as well to at least 16. I think this is smaller. Let's see. Yep, this is all 14. So I'm gonna increase this. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna show you the button thing first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to duplicate this, this row actually. So now I have two of these and I'm gonna scroll this actually up to here. So now what I have to do is actually make this only on mobile. So I go over to design, I go to visibility, and I hide desktop, laptop, tablet, and I just want it to show on mobile. So very important that we need to know that, hey, now this is only gonna show on mobile. So when we go on desktop, obviously this will be hidden and we'll see our desktop layout. So that's only on mobile, super simple. Now, the next thing I wanna show you is actually how we're gonna increase our image sizes. And this applies to any other image you wanna increase end to end. So right now it's at 80% and we just wanna put it to 100%. That's it, literally that simple. And it'll actually be adjusted on desktop as well. If we go to desktop right now, we will see that it's actually, it didn't change at all. Like it's still the same. If we go to image, we see our width is still 80%, but on mobile, it's 100, right? And if we wanna be, extra advanced, we can actually go to design, border, and the border radius, we can put like the corners a little bit, like it looks a little bit cleaner. Once again, this is just something that we can play around with. If you ever feel like, hey, you want a little bit less spacing, you could always like just adjust the spacing right here, right? So those are minor things, but the major things I wanted to tell you was what I like to do with the buttons, especially the images, super important. And actually, I just wanna make sure that these images are 100%, which they are, and if they're not, we need to make sure that especially these are like 100% full width. That is super, super crucial. But other than that, our mobile page is optimized. Like now we are ready to go. There's gonna be little tweaks here and there, but overall, like this is, like we're good. Now we just need to get some feedback so then we can start editing our landing page kind of based off of feedback, what people are asking for, put in like even more kind of check marks based off of, hey, does this product do this? And if it does, we need to add that in ASAP. So, okay, so this is it for mobile, and let's continue through the other modules.